What's going down, everybody? This is your boy Big Drewski, and welcome to another edition of Spacebucket Growing with Drewski. We're getting back to the live action. We're getting back to the bi-daily, every 3 days, trying to drop something for you guys. I know I've been slacking off and dealing with life and blah, blah, and y'all don't want to hear it. Drop some more. So that's what we're going to do. If you've been following us on Instagram, that's at @whatarewedoing_podcast. You'll see that we have our two grows going on. We've got the LED Lotus Eater producing a seed from Oasis Cultivations, the Purple Grenade, which is an AK-47 Granddaddy Perp cross, more Granddaddy Perp than AK. Massive indica flowers, as y'all seen on the growth. Figured out we got some hot soil. We got newt burn coming up, so we got pH water getting fed to her right now. Things are looking gravy on that end. I like the way I did that build versus my first one and not putting much thought into it and just rushing in. I like what I did with the LED build, building the whole thing in that same night, having the tools prior to actually doing the build. So having the 3-gallon smart pot, having all the buckets, having seed, having soil, having the lighting, having the nutrients, having all of that on deck. It was very helpful in the construction of the Lotus Eater. The one thing I do want is to mount my fans differently. Now I see why our sponsor at Mostly Safe 8, that's Rainman Spacebucket Microgrows, mounts their fans on the side. Not only can they do bigger fans, we have brackets and mounts for those fans. I actually have a set, but my fans aren't that big, so it made it kind of awkward that I had to once again cut a hole in the side of a bucket and go that route when I really wanted to experiment with just cutting a circle in the side of a bucket and mounting the fan on the outside without having any air leakage. That being said, what I was going to do was I was going to cut a circle, the diameter of the fan's blades, and in mounting with a silicone like holding gel, construct a cardboard tape silicone gel mold, if you will, but it'll be pretty directly made right onto the bucket or onto the spacer. I'm thinking about doing it on the spacer just to experiment with it and see how that can go. Other than that, though, one thing I do notice, I think I might have from birth overdid it nutrient wise, and that's why now in seedling form she might be burning, it might be hot soil. There's a couple of things that incorporate nutrient burn in that, so I just got to feed it water. I know I got to let it go and stop trying to feed the nutrients. Like, I think feeding in my mind is every time you have to water the plant. But now there's a difference. Obviously, there's watering and then there's feed time, and you don't want to overwater or overfeed. So you want to balance it out, you know what I'm saying? So give it some feed, let it digest it, you know what I'm saying? Give it a couple of days, bang, with water. Give it a couple of days, water. Give it a couple of days, feed. So, you know what I'm saying? You always want to watch what you're doing. I'm learning that very quickly. So that's kind of the learning point of that. Another thing is that this plant looks like it's going to be huge. And the reason why I say that is just the inner growth on this plant before topping. Like, if I just would have kept it going, it just wouldn't have stopped. Like, Jesus. This plant grows like nothing I've ever seen. And, having nutrients in it, having superior lighting, and I still have no clue what the red and the blue and infrared lighting's all in one supposed to do to form all of this luxuriousness, but I do appreciate what it has shown me in growing. That being said, if things go well and I can get my hands on auto flowering seeds, one of my homework assignments is feeding and light schedule. I know it'll automatically do it, but I still want to watch it. Also training screen to green, suggested from the pictures I've seen, suggested to especially the optimized bud sites. Get that even growth. You want to get that started off early on, especially with LED lighting. Like, if I get rid of some of these fan leaves, I bet I could have stalk growth like from dirt with bud sites. Like, the thing is amazing. Shout out to Oasis Cultivations for this seed that's produced all of this under all this light. Good God, you're a monster. And I am happy to be part of the project. So that grow is going very well, despite nutrient burn. So we're giving her water. We got that going. Besides watering and the light schedule, I think we're good. It's Monday, and if you're listening to this on Monday, you're current. If you're catching up, we've got some mail coming Wednesday. Tomorrow, I will not do a podcast. Wednesday, hopefully, I will be unveiling the Beast. The Beast is from our sponsor. And if you saw the video on our Instagram, then you know how excited I am to be getting the Beast. Now, the Beast is produced by our sponsor at Mostly Safe 8 on Instagram. You'll know them as Rainman, Spacebucket, Microgrows. If you have the chance to get your hands on some fast buds, maybe some Girl Scout cookie fast buds, I'll gladly take 2 months out of my time to not only grow, but do a from seed mass grow of 3 autos. Because we'll have 3 various lighting options for yield to be produced. One will be CFL, one will be 135 watts, and one will be slightly more powerful than that. I'm just saying, if you're willing to, I am willing to utilize my smart pots and my engineering skills and these lights that have been gloriously donated to me by Rainman, Spacebucket, Microgrows. CJ, we love you, man. If it wasn't for you, dude, this wouldn't even be happening. But if you can get your hands on like some fast buds, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will gladly produce this show structured around those grows. 3-in-1. I've done the math. Amazing what the harvest opportunity is per year if you have these auto seeds on deck. That's all I'm saying to y'all. I need you to look it up for yourselves. And then when you do, hit the follow button and then like and comment on their page at whatarewedoing_podcast. Dead serious. Fast Buds Vegas. Look at those yields and then tell me that in 3 space buckets with variage wattage of lights, typically the same growing medium for all 3. We're going to see what happens, hopefully, if we can get our hands on some. And, man, that would be an awesome mixture of technology, you know. Rainman with the Rodeo Galaxy Hydro. I got CFL knocking out the park. And, then, on top of that, we're going to have another LED light source that's going to do its magic. So, I mean, who wouldn't love to see that? Now, then if that happened, and knowing what could happen, I'd love for everybody in Las Vegas listening to help us out. We need 5-gallon paint buckets. 5-gallon paint buckets to start what could potentially be elevated gardens. Spacebucket Microgrows by getting stacks going on his builds. I want to get that started immediately. To get somebody else educated on the art of growing cannabis in a controlled environment would not only be awesome, but then adding to that, 2 podcasts from 2 different perspectives of grows. Mainly if we could grow autos. Then we have the auto strain hunter, because I know he'd do it. And B, he's all about yield. So I think him seeing LED grows has already turned him on to it. So, you know, I don't know if I should do this whole GoFundMe thing and, you know, start up some donations and blah, 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 and this and that, because it's already got too bad of a name, GoFundMe, you know what I'm saying, for scammers and all that good stuff. But, I mean, y'all see us here on Instagram at whatarewedoing_podcast. You know, you see us, you know, that we're trying to grow and get knowledge and keep the culture going, and provide new perspectives to people who are getting into this. Because, I mean, let's get it straight. There's a gang of states that have legal cannabis. And so, that being said, you know what I'm saying, people are going to find out what they like. And then, like anything, they're going to want more of it. And that brings opportunity in ways most won't think about. But, you know, we're trying to elevate, we're trying to medicate, trying to stay just up there, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to like totally stop smoking cigarettes. I'm almost there. I do get the you smoke a lot of weed look. Oh well. I mean, it's recreational now, but I've been smoking cannabis now steadily for some years. But I've never been against it. Like, I just always had to take breaks to where, like, you know, random drug tests happen, and I just didn't want to get caught up in the system. So I took a 5-year hiatus from cannabis. And then when I came back, it came back strong. My tolerance went up very fast. I attribute that to my high metabolism. But, you know, it is what it is. Back on topic. Too excited, to be getting the Beast. Because this Beast is also going to be coming as if I were a customer from their store. So we're going to get the real experience of this unboxing. So when it comes in the mail, I'm going to start recording. It might go live just so I can record it live at that time. It'll drop at that time. You know what I'm saying? So Wednesday morning, afternoon-esque. Just kind of be on the lookout for a podcast. I'm just saying. But we're doing the unboxing experience from Rainman, Spacebucket Microgrows. And that's like the start of the whole the cap of the excitement. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already super excited to even be receiving a space bucket built by them to use. And not only am I excited by that, but we have the potential now to do one of two things. Or two of two things. I mean, we can keep it either way. So, we could use this new bucket and start from seed. Way more powerful light means that it's going to be a taller bucket than normal. Dig that. We could move the purple grenade into the Beast and start from seed again with another Oasis Cultivations genetics cross and go that route. Do the same exact process and knock that out of the park. We could keep the LED Lotus Ether as is with the purple grenade installed. Yeah, and I think I said that. Just start from seed with the Beast. So there's a couple of options. I want to see what happens when we force... Okay, when we put more wattage or more lighting onto the plant, knowing what we know about light height and things of that nature, will we then get faster? Not faster, but will the plant do more with the nutrients it has in the soil? Meaning, will it absorb more nutrients, providing it's getting a more powerful lighting situation? That's the question. Want to see that. You know, we are using a light strip, an LED light strip, red and blue as well, inside of the Lotus Eater Space Bucket. So it's already pumped up a couple more watts, but I don't think anything significant to what the new lighting situation will be and could be for that plant. that being said, the CFL build is becoming one of the more daunting things I've done in my life. Let me explain. This plant, for some reason, is giving me a really hard time. She don't know how to act. And so I want to say it like this. I really want to just uproot her and start from scratch. Like, I feel like I just want to scrap it. At the same time, that's a lot of Spacebucket gone to waste if I scrap this project. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 light spacers and a light lid, which I'm planning on rebuilding in a regular ass lid. Thank God we have extra lids. I can do some cutting around things. I can install things around things on this lid, and then they can actually lock on to the light spacer, and I don't have to worry about it. Oh, thank you, Jesus. I'm glad I got those extra ones. I also, after looking at my light lid and my wiring situations, what the fuck? Like, I really didn't take any time making the Spacebucket, and you can tell by the strategic placement of everything that's on here. Everything is on here is on like a Mosh Podge setup. Like my light lid, light spacer situation. The lid don't fit the spacer, so it just sits on top. So it's just weird. And fuck me, I use like a silicone glue. I'm gonna have to get acetone and shit to get this shit off. Hopefully I can just kind of like dig it out, cut it out. That being said, shit. It's just like a mosh podge. There's wires everywhere. Like I could reroute the spacer, light, fans into the lighting situation. That would make it a lot better. I could then find the wiring on the bottom and just separate that. That wouldn't be a problem. Hook that back up to a light timer. That wouldn't be a problem. Except for the fans. I keep my fans on 24/7. Even while she sleeps, I keep the fans on. That's something that I sleep with fans on, so I'd assume my plants would love to sleep with a fan on. I'm just saying. I'm just excited, man. There's a lot of things in progress right now that we're doing. Me personally, with this CFL build, I want to throw it across a building, but at the same time, I want to finish it out. I want to see something. Right now, I just got a big ass hemp plant. As far as I'm concerned, it's got the leaves of a sativa hybrid, where the LED is an indica, most definitely. Like those big ass fan leaves are, whew, they wouldn't. If I had an LED light in the CFL build, built another spacer, popped that on, and let it do its thing right now, I can guarantee you that I probably would see better results in 2 weeks than I will now. Like, fuck. I want to finish this thing out so bad. Like, I just feel like I've been in flower for at least a month. So, it's not like I can complain. I know flowering is like the long haul, but it really is seeming like all I get is a little bit of stretch, a little bit more fan leaves, a little bit more stretch, a little bit more fan leaves, damage, a little bit more stretch, a little bit more fan leaves. Like, what in the fuck am I doing wrong to this plant that I obviously had no thought of what I was doing? And you can tell by the looks of that Spacebucket. It really is like a donated mosh podge of everything in the right direction. Like, it fueled the engineering for the LED Lotus Eater. Another thing that we've learned, like my runoff bucket for the Lotus Eater now is the bottom of a one of the 5-gallon Kikkoman soy sauce buckets provided to us by our good friends and hopefully some rum cake providers. I'm just saying, for Friday, y'all can jump in whenever y'all want to on episode 2. Like, you guys are always invited. Just, swing the line on down, and you're always friends of the show. We actually want you to come down. We want you guys to talk about it. But back on topic. So, bottom of the Kikkoman, about an inch down, I lined painter's tape as a guide. I marked pretty much where I didn't want any screws to go, and then that was about an inch to an inch and a half down on the remainder of the 5-gallon bucket, and then with very long screws have made a table, if you will, and the Lotus Eater sits perfectly on top of that. Whereas on the CFL build, that little girl is heavy as fuck, and getting your leg hairs stuck in black duct tape after a fucking heat wave is not fun. Trying to squeeze off and lift on a CFL build Spacebucket. I'm just saying, you don't realize how much a plant weighs after she gets her roots down in that fucking soil and wants to live down there. She's lying to you on top. There's a big bitch on the bottom. Big old fat booty. All them roots. But we've learned a few things. Engineering on this thing is on your space buckets is vital. I actually kind of recommend getting into the space bucket field before you do it. Either buy one, get someone who's done something similar to help you build one. Like, you can always hit my podcast on Instagram, slide in the DM, talk to me, man. I'm friendly, dog. You know what I'm saying? I like to talk to everybody. That's why I started the podcast. But taking your time and really thinking out, like, the whole construction of your bucket is very, very important. And that's just because in the long run, you're going to need that clever engineering to get you through a cannabis grow. That being said, like, early making your screen a green, early making your LED light spacer, like, have everything built before you even start your grow. And then that way, when you start it, you know the environment is going to be in. You know where it's at. You know what I'm saying? You know you got air. You know you got light. You know you've got distance between. You know you've got lights that won't run too hot. You know the optimal spacing between your lighting. All that good shit. You already know what to do. Kind of trial by fire with me, and that's how I am. I like to really... I don't read instruction manuals. Like, I really don't. if you expect me to, you're almost crazy. But I had to, when it came to the LED, kind of follow my own instructions. Like, I had this thing planned out. Like, all right, I'm gonna cut here. I got a notch for the fan here, so this locks. I'm gonna put the wiring through here. I'm gonna line this up this way. Like, I had this thing planned out. It's all on paper. I should release a blog about it, but y'all getting it here on the podcast. I don't like typing. That's why I need an intern too. If y'all in Las Vegas and you don't mind, doing some copy and paste work, and writing a description for episodes, slide in my DM, please. You see what's happening, so you'll be a part of this Cure Fest. You've got to go through an interview process with myself and Stacks, so you will be on the What Are We Doing podcast. Have to be 21 and over. We will be checking IDs. And, just get at us, you know what I'm saying? If you want to be a part of a new wave of culture. And if you want to get some education out of this, because everybody does things slightly differently, even if they follow the rules. You feel me? Having a forum to where we can have multiple people attest to like seed production, if you've got autoflower seeds and you want us to test them. B, different environment testing. Everybody's house is different too, you know what I'm saying? Like, mine is kind of extra moist / dry. I got a swamp cooler in my house, so I've got moisture in the air, whereas other people just have cool air because it is dry out here in Vegas. That does happen. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of different things. People buy different soils. They buy different nutrient kits. You know what I'm saying? Or are provided with different nutrient kits. Shout out to our sponsor. Like I said, people do things differently even if they follow the rules. And that's the great thing about cannabis, is like, you can see different results. But to get people on the same level, like LED growing, and let's just say we stick to a max number of like 135 watts. You can go from flower to from seed to flower, with that light. Provided, you know what I'm saying, you just keep watching your plant, you keep watching your nutrient balance and this and that, tend to your plant, you know what I'm saying. Make sure everything's all gravy and you straight, you know what I'm talking about. And then, you have the possibilities of, let's say you do perpetual grow with 3 space buckets. If you live 25 miles away from a dispensary in the state of Nevada, you will be able to have a total of 12 plants going at the same time. Now, with autos, you could possibly do the math on your own and figure out that within your first year, you are off the grid when it comes to buying cannabis. Bruh, I already know what my goal is. I want to be a part of the culture, but I want to do it different. And my different is hands-on with every plant, massively. You know what I'm saying? Having your attention spread out, remembering what you got to do. That's why I start taking notes now, too. You know what I'm saying? It kind of reminds me that I got things to do with these plants on certain days, and it's important. But let's just say you have a perpetual grow, and you plan your grow out. You're getting a lot per year with these auto seeds. from Fast Buds, and Fast Buds Vegas ever listens to this, I'd love for us to possibly connect, do some work, you know what I'm talking about? Because I'm willing to wait a couple of days and then start this grow with you in mind. Just saying. I'm just saying that's how it is. I do have some Oasis cultivations genetics that we could get into as well, so there's a lot of options. But there's been a lot of things learned in this process. Spread your time out wisely if you do have a perpetual grow going. Remember, folks, you can't get going all excited when you start a new grow and then you start another new grow. Like, get out your feelings and spread your time wisely. Both plants, all three plants, are going to need attention. Things are going to happen. You need to get on your game face, make it happen. That's all I got to say about that. I'm going through it right now. It's been tough. It hasn't been tough. Problem is, there's just a whole lot of stuff that happened all at once. And being the hothead runaround person that I am, like, I start panicking, like, on the get. And so I just overdo things. I know this about myself. And so, like I said, we had heat, sat in there too long. From heat wave, we needed water, so we overwatered. Then we overdried, so we're underwatered, overdried, heat problems. The topping that wasn't planned, like, all that plant's just been through hell. But it's still going. Like I said earlier, I feel like I just want to scrap this whole project. But we've come this far. That'd be a waste of engineering time to throw all of that away, considering I built a screen of green, the spacers, switched from Mylar to foil tape, adding fans, like the whole thing, just bleh. It seems like it's too much and you want to give up, but you can't. So, you know, and it's also about learning patience. Flowering does take the longest out of everything. So this could be just the, you know, early pre-flowering stage to where it's after the recovery. It's, you know, it's building itself back up and then it'll start to produce something. It seems like pistils want to grow, and then from those, in those sites, all of a sudden big old fan leaves pop up. So I have no clue what's going on with that thing there, or what it's thinking, or what it's doing, but I wish it would produce something at this point to show me whether it is a female or a male. That being said, y'all, I'm out of here. It's been a long one. We'll call this one Growth in All Forms 4. That series has been kind of going now. Part of the Spacebucket Growing with Drewski podcast. It's kind of the educational portion of where I stop blabbing about like what's just going on with the plants, to where I get to telling you like what I've learned, what I've seen, what I've done, what I've done to fix the problem. So that's why like this has moved on to an every few day thing. You know, you can get really excited and oh my god, cannabis grows so fast in the first few days, and oh my god, look at all this inner growth, and oh my god, look at this today, and then it gets old, and then, you know what I'm saying? So I backed off severely just for the cause of, you know, providing you with a better version of this podcast to where you can actually get like a long story form version of the update. So I'm out. I'm trying to watch this Big 3 game. Wednesday, we have the unveiling. Look out for that. The Beast is on its way. And then hopefully we have some updates on who our sponsors are. And to get into sponsors, you guys, if you've been following us on Instagram, I need you guys to go to these links, and they're going to be in the description of this podcast on any version of your format that you're listening to this on. So if you're on iHeartRadio, Spreaker, or on YouTube, you can go and get some of the coolest stuff sent to you in the mail. You ain't got to worry about it for a decent cost, you know what I'm saying? But go to trylootcrate.com/whatar and check out the deal you'll get on there. You can get some really cool stuff. If you're, into tech, geek, and gaming, now that all of you can be exposed to the world of cannabis, go to trylootcrate.com/whatar. And, you might possibly save you some money. Also, if you have any fur babies in the house, and I'm not talking about those evil things called cats, I'm talking about man's best friend, dog. I want you to go to try Barkbox or getbarkbox.com/whatar. And when you use that link, you're going to get a free extra month in either your 6-month or your subscription. And you'll get fur-picked toys and treats with themes like Cool York City and some various other things. Can't remember right off the top of my head, and I don't have the copy in front of me. But get a free extra month if you love your fur babies that much. And if you're trying to get that domain name, trying to make that e-store happen, trying to make that website pop, trying to write a blog, you need that domain name, go to trydopegodaddy.com/whatar. Save some more money. And, make that dream happen. Put that out there on the internet the way everybody's doing it right now. Get your attention locked in. Get your core fan base locked in. Get some marketing in there. And you might possibly be the next big thing. But what you need to do is start off with a great website. So go to trygodaddy.com/whatar. Get your domain name popping. And you might save you some money. That's it, y'all. No more. Well, one more. I want you guys to really go check out our sponsor at Mostly Safe 8 on Instagram. That's Rainman, Spacebucket, Microgrows. You're going to go to their store on Etsy. The link is going to be in the description of this podcast. They're the ones who keep us pushing by sending us a whole lot of stuff that we keep using and we keep updating for y'all. So I'm Drewski. I'm watching Big 3. See y'all later.